What?
Well, we said you're stronger than me, and I was upset.
Your water bottle, what did I eat? You missed my leg.
Okay, but you have the handle. This problem. Yeah.
And that was there's a handle. There's a
Pretest and eight. An easy one. They always are.
Your expertise. I said, because your expertise. Like that.
My expert opinion. 10A, correct?
What is that?
Here we go. 10A, number 1. Anna Weiss,
4,000.
4,000. 2, Christopher.
12,000.
12,000. 3, Lucy. 30 gallons. 4, Carter Bocek.
350.
I have 256. 256 centimeters squared. Number 5, Emma.
58.
What's that? What?
58.
I have 68. 68. Number 6, Rye.
360.
360. Number 7, Emily.
16.
Ooh, I have 93 cents. Am I wrong one? No. 93 cents. 8, David.
Oh, 30.
30, correct. 9, Avery.
94 to P squared.
I have 616. 616. Number 10, Sam.
70.
I have 63. 11, Liam.
X equals 2.1.
2.1. 12, Spring.
1/5.
I have 5/6. 13, Lila.
2x plus 3y.
2x plus 3y. 14, Carter Reichert.
12.
I have 5x plus 12. 5x plus 12. 15, Hayden.
1 3/4.
I have 1/4. So far, so good. 16, Kelsey Stone.
AB squared.
AB squared. AB squared. 17. Is that the one we skipped?
No, you
No.
just said change eight to eight.
Oh, what did I say? Change what to?
8.
Oh.
8.
So Ike, you have what?
2 times 10 to the 4th power.
Is that what everybody else said?
Yeah.
I'll go for that. 2 times 10 to the 4th power. 18, Reagan.
7.2 times 10 to the 12th.
7.2 times 10 to the 12th. 19, Mayana.
10.
19, I have 25 feet cubed. And number 20, everybody says is 28. 18 was 7.2 times 10 to the 12th. I know for absolutely sure I've got some questions on this. And again, as always, you may want to grab yourself a piece of note paper just to remind you, help you out on tomorrow's incredibly difficult, yet visually stimulating mathematics test there. Ooh. Answers first. If you need me to repeat an answer, ask me that. Emma? 4 was 256. Anna? 10 was 63. Reagan? Who? 2 was 12,000. Kels? 5 was 68. Maya? 15. 1/4. Anna? 14. 5x plus 12. Luke?
I don't understand what that's on.
Any other answers? Repeat an answer. Right?
That was number 1.
Number 1 was 4,000. All right, Luce, let's do this. What? Number 9, children. I'm sure you're not the only one who would love to see number 9. Must have it at the end of the page. A lawn sprinkler sprays a pattern, a circular pattern. Keyword there is circular, 14 feet out from the sprinkler head. So right there, I stop. Oh boy. Right there, I stop and draw myself what they just told me, a circular pattern Where would the sprinkler head be? Right in the middle. 14 feet out, so it has a radius of 14 feet, correct? And then, ladies and gentlemen, if you're asked for the square feet of anything, square feet is called what? Area. It's always area. How many squares something is how many the area. So you need the area of a circle, which is pi times radius times radius. I'm sure it'll be that on tomorrow's test too. So, and then they tell you you have your three choices for pi. You can either use 3.14, you can use the fraction, or they'll tell you to leave it in terms of pi. Here they say use 22/7 for pi. So it's just going to look like this, and watch how beautiful this works out. Area equals pi, which is like 22/7 times 14 times 14. Why is that beautiful? Yeah, because the 7 goes into 14, you can cross cancel. You don't have to, you can just cross this up. 7 goes into 7 once and the 14 twice. So you just need to multiply 22 times 2 times 14. Easiest way to do that? 2 times 14 is, and then you just have to multiply that by 22. Why do I like multiplying by 22? Because it's the same. You get 56, then drop a 0, and you get another 56. So 616, doing the math, whatever this is, square. Area. Note to self, I need to find area. And this probably will give you that again. There we go. How many people got that right? Tres tacos. Tres amigos. I don't like the way you're staring at that, wondering that doesn't seem to make sense. You point me where your confusion is, I try to direct you in a path that of the least resistance there. What did you get? The sprinkler head? You have to understand that, have you ever done the dance, the sprinkler? That's what it is. You're in the middle of the circle going around. I guess, Ray, would you and Emma have done the sprinkler?
My dad.
Yeah? Love it. Did you do the coffee grinder too? Well, that would be when he does this. Coffee grinder. Like this. All right, more questions on math, because we don't have that kind of time. E. Robbins.
I don't understand number 3.
Number 3. Uno, dos, tres tacos. Well, did you get 2 right? Because you'll never get 3 right if you don't get 2 right. We should probably let's start with 2, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about this before. Problem 2 asks you for the lateral surface area. The lateral surface area means if you look at my room, the lateral surface area is just the walls. If you're going to paint a building, you don't paint the ceiling and you don't paint the floor, you paint the sides, and that's what you're painting here. And if you look at a room, how many sides does it have? 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What are the sides of this room? I'm going to draw them out for you. You've got this front, which is a 100 by, how high is the room? 20 feet. You have a back here that you can't see. That is the exact same rectangle. It is 100 by 20 feet. And then you have the right side right here, which is 200 by 20 feet. And guess what? You've got the left side, that is that same rectangle, 200 by 20 feet. What are their areas? My lateral surface area, what's easy math, or it should be. 20 times 100 is 2,000. Same thing for this. 200 times 20 is 4,000. Add them all together, you get 12,000 square feet. And problem number 3 just extends that and saying, well, if you were going to paint the walls, if every gallon you buy covers 400 square feet, how many gallons is it gonna take to do this? So you need to take 400 and divide it into how many 400s can you split? And boom, it would be what? 3 here gives you 1200. Drop down a 0, break down the other 0, 430 pounds right down the nose. Put that straight in. Lateral surface area, no tops, no bases, no top, no bottom. Abraham,
I don't understand them
45, we don't have to do
4
45.
and 5.
Joke never gets old. What part, didn't you ask me this question?
Yeah, but I got one.
Well, maybe you and I did something wrong here. We do have a formula, but you don't know it yet, of this little shape right here. And when you don't know the formula, you just have to cut it into pieces of shapes, so how to find the areas you do know. So you are going to cut it into this rectangle. Let's do that first. What is the area of that rectangle? Rectangle is length times width, so it is 16 times 10. Should be mental math, which is what, Emily Robbins? 160, right? That's the rectangle. Now I need to add to that the area of this triangle. Well, you have to figure out the dimensions of the triangle. A triangle is 1/2 of base times height. What is the height from here to here? Same as this, 16, correct? The only hard part might be this right here. What is this distance from here to here? Well, you know that it is 10. The same 10 up there is the same 10 down here. 10 plus what number gives you 22? This one has to be 12 down here. So this has to be 12 here. And then half of 16 is 8. 8 times 12 is 96. And you add that 96 to the 160, and you're going to get 256, whatever it is, centimeters squared. That's number 4. The perimeter of it, let me draw that out. Did that help, Avery, or not?
Yeah.
The perimeter looks like this. Remember, perimeter is the distance around. So you have the 22, you have the 16, you have the 10, but what you don't have is this right here. How am I going to figure that out? Well, up here, just like I had here, this was a right triangle, and its dimensions were 16 by 12. Do I have a Pythagorean theorem that is a 1612? Kabarik? So then you say, oh no. What's the next thing you want to try? Is this a bigger triangle of a smaller triple?
Yes.
Well, in order to figure that out, you got to say, I have 16 and 12. What can I divide both of those by?
4.
4. If I divide them by 4, let's see what I get. If I divide 12 by 4, cut it in fourths, this would be 3. If I divide 16 by 4, this would be 4. Is there a 3, 4 something triangle up there?
Yes.
Which is a 3, 4, 5, right? But 5 isn't my answer because that's the small triangle. You have to then re-multiply and get it back to the big size. I divided by 4, so I have to multiply by 4, so this side has to be 20. Then you can add your 10, your 16, your 22, and your 40 together to get whatever it was. What was it? 72?
60.
60 what? It can't be 68.
20.
Oh, it's 20. Yeah, why did I put 40 there? 20, 42, 58, and 10, 68, was it?
Yeah.
68. Whatever that was. 70. It's way too big. I can't continue to do that. Day bid.
I don't understand 7.
17,
Just 7.
65,
No, just 7.
Wow, David, you know what I'm gonna ask you? Tax and tip is always,
Multiplication.
and did you?
Yes.
And then what did you change 7.5% to? David?
I didn't change that.
Well, you have to, because we don't multiply by percents.
Like simplify.
That would not, that's 75%. There you go. For this one, you need to multiply $12.40 by 0.075. And then in your answer, you're gonna get 3 decimal places and probably have to round, I don't know. Let's take a look. 5 times 0, 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 2 is 10, this is 12, 1 is a 6, got the 0, a 0, 1 times 4 is 28, carry the 2, 14, 16, 1, 7, 8, uh-oh, I get 0, 0, 0, 3, 9. How many decimal places? 5. Oh, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks to me like it's 93 cents in tax. Yay, nay?
Yay.
Is that what it was?
I have to go to chapel now, but I have all more questions, so can I come back during?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make a little video of this, you can watch it at home. Yeah, that's the plan.
Can I get a test now too?
Tell my best. Oof, Kamari!
Can you do number 8?
I hate number 8, but I'll do it. Number 8 actually is a fun one for me. I love number 8. Number 8 is nothing more than a ratio box, percentage box. Percent is a ratio, by the way. It's all the same. And it just looks like this. Put your percent here, put your actual numbers here. What are you comparing? Boys and girls, and when you add those together, you get a total. And your standard generic ratio box there. The total is always going to be 100%. I don't even have to look at the problem for that. 40% is the boys. So what percent Kabarak is girls?
60.
60%. And then they told you there are 18 girls. Where in the wide world of sports are you going to put 18 girls? In the actual number of girls column. So they're either going to ask me how many boys are there or how many total kids there are. What do they ask you? How many total students? So I can just put my question mark or my letter here. I don't need this. And just make those two equal fractions. 60 over 100 is going to equal 18 over n. But you're going to go, that doesn't work. I'll reduce these. If you divide these both by 10, you end up with 6 over 10. 6 times 3. N times 3 is 30. And then how many girls would there actually be? 12. If you were asked that. But you're not. So, look at the questions out there. Why
I don't understand the
10? Everybody says, I don't understand number 10. Remember when I said math would be hard?
Yeah.
Well. Oh no, another diameter circle problem? Monica wants to tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree that has a circular trunk about 20 inches in diameter. Yes, you did that? What?
Yeah.
You drew me a tree?
Yeah.
That was 20 inches in diameter? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Not counting the ribbon needed to make a bow, how many inches of ribbon does she needed? What are we asking for? The distance around that tree, what is that formula? Yeah, circumference equals pi times the diameter. And this time it didn't tell you, so you're going to use pi as 3.14. But it did say you want the nearest inch. So circumference equals 3.14 times 20. And that math isn't that difficult, I don't believe. 3.14 times 20 drop the 0, 8, 2, 6, 2 decimal places. 62.8 would be a great answer, except it said to round to the nearest whole number, which means, because that's an 8, you round that to 63. Where did we go wrong, Anna? Again, note to self, problem number, whatever this is, write down formula for diameter circumference, because that's what it would be. Abraham.
I don't understand number one.
Wait, did we do number 1? Number 1 is the exact same thing as that ratio box we just did. Same exact thing, except we're not talking about percents, we're just talking about a ratio and an actual. What are we comparing? In-state people, out-state people, and we get a total people. You can't really put anything in there until you jot down what they know. Ratio of in to out was 5 to 2. In to out was 5 to 2, which means how many total is that? 7. And then they tell you there were 14,000 visitors. Is that ins, outs, or totals? Totals. So 14,000. You can figure out all the rest. This one you don't even really, I don't think I'd really just bother writing these fractions because it's pretty easy to go from 7 to 14,000. It's just multiplying by 2,000. So 2 times 2,000 would be 4,000. 5 times 2,000 would be 10,000. They asked you how many were from out of state. Challenge. Mayana Conrad. 19? Ooh, somebody else likes 19. I'll have to, remind me to look at your test tomorrow and see what they took for that scientific notation thing. Oh, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, what's the formula for the volume of a prism? Do they tell you the length and the width and the height here?
Yes.
The interior dimensions of Sal's refrigerator are 5 feet. 5 feet is probably how tall it is. By 2 feet, by 2 1/2 feet. Find the volume of the refrigerator. So you're just going to multiply those numbers together, and it's really not going to be that bad. 2 1/2 times 2 times 5. What would be the easiest way to do that, ladies and gents? What is 2 times 2 1/2? $2.50, and you have double that, it's 5. What is 5 times 5? 25 would be what I would get for this volume. Of course, you could always change this to improper. 5 over 2 times 2 times 5 over 1, you're still going to get 5. Reagan, thank you for waiting patiently.
You already did number 7,
Good.
but
Any other questions
I
then?
don't understand why you use the decimal over.
Wait, what do you mean why you moved that forward?
Why you moved
This?
over? Yeah.
Because percent means out of 100. So this is 7.5 hundredths. It's not a whole number, because if you multiply this by a whole number, you'd be paying like $90 in tax. It's a fraction. It's actually 75 over 1,000 is what this is, but it's 7,500. So you never multiply until after you change it to a decimal. And you think, probably thinking, because if it was just 7% Reagan, it'd be 0.07. So it's 7.5, so it's 0.075. Percentages are always. Your dad around tonight? Maybe some serious mathematical work? Oh, what? Clark, what do we got?
18.
Number 18. Yeah. Again, notes to self, people. This stuff is not, it should not cause you any great consternation. When you multiply things in scientific notation, it's really a three-step process. Multiply the two numbers on the left together. 6 times 1.2 is 7.2. Write down times 10. And then you just add. When you multiply, you add exponents together. 7.2 times 10 to the 12th power. Not to be mixed up with, might as well look at the division one. Now this one, I don't know why they couldn't get it. We've never done anything with A, so I hope that. Division is the same, except you divide the two left numbers. 4 goes into 8 twice. You write down the times 10, and you subtract their exponents. Multiplying, you add exponents. Dividing, you subtract exponents. And it's much faster. Some of you I saw trying to write out 8 with 8 zeros after it, divided by 4 with 4 zeros after it, and try to keep all that straight. That just gets a little wonky. You don't want to do that. Scientists don't do that. They just break down the loose.
I understand number 6.
Again? Did I do 6 already? Oh. How many problems on this test deal with just straight up ratios? That's all this is again. Another ratio problem. You have a ratio box. These things are ratios, they're proportions. This is instant number 1, and this is situation number 2. I am comparing words to how long it takes me to type. Words to minutes. In the first case, I typed 144 words, and that took me 4 minutes. At that same ratio, at that same rate, how many words could I type in 10 minutes? This is what I want to know. I don't know. But this one again, Warren's probably writing it out in fraction form. 144 over 4 equals m over 10. To which you go, I can't do that. So what's the next step you should try? Can you reduce this? Yeah, you can cut both of these in half, which would give you 72 over 2. Now can you do it? Yes, 2 times 5. So 72 times 5 is 360. You could type 360 words in 10 minutes. You must be typing 36 words per minute. Is that fast in your world? Probably in your world. Good typists can type about what? 90. Anderson, you are mysteriously quiet today. Did you get everything right?
Well, not everything.
But mostly. David,
I don't understand number 20.
nobody does. Is it an easy one or a tough? Oh, yes. David, did you happen, I will tell you this 1,000 times, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that just like to fly through your work, this will always be a tough problem for you. For the rest of you, what should you do to do this problem, David? Huh? How am I going to show my work?
Write the problem out, and then fill in the letters with the numbers, JC. And then
Best for you to do is every place you see a letter in your original thing is put a parenthesis. Watch. Here's my one hack. Here's the parenthesis in the problem. Then for the letter A, I'm going to write another parenthesis. Plus another parenthesis for the letter B. Here's the parenthesis for the problem. And here's the parenthesis for H. I'm just telling you, your life will be much easier if you do this. Then fill in the blanks. A was 6. B was 8. H is 4. And then order of operations say that you need to do grouping symbols first. 6 plus 8 is, David? 14. Now, it is all multiplication. It doesn't matter the order you do multiplication because of the commutative properties or the half of 14 is 7, and 7 times 4, David?
Wait,
And where did you go wrong? Because that does not seem to be complicated mathematics. It's only multiplying, dividing, adding, and subtracting.
I didn't divide. I didn't divide like 14 or 4 when it.
You just got 56?
Yeah.
So you take half of that? Where the half goes, right here. You're losing me, David. Help me out here. Robbins,
12.
did I already do 12? Who's cheering for 12? Did somebody cheer out there for 12? Is it over here? Where is it at? Sliding over here. Oh, yes. What is it that upsets us about 12, Robin? Fractions. Don't let fractions scare you because this is just a compound equation. It is a multiplication equation and it's an addition equation, which means to solve it, I'm going to do the opposite of those and subtract and divide. Which one do I do first? I want the letter x by itself. So I got to get rid of this and I get rid of the half. First thing I do is, you always get rid of the addition and subtraction stuff on solving equations. So you subtract 1/3. And 3/4, unfortunately, minus 1/3 doesn't work out the best, but we can do it. Your common denominator is 12. 3 times 4, 1 times 4, 4 times 3, 3 times 3. 9/12 minus 4/12 is 5/12. Congratulations. And that is what equals 1/2 x. Now, when you get to this, did I do something wrong? Question on this one?
No, for the next.
Wow, it's not a raise. Let me finish the problem before you raise your hand. For this, Emily Robbins, okay, yes, this is multiplication, and yes, to solve it's division, but I said, the rule is anytime you have a fraction in front of a letter, how do you get rid of it? You just flip and multiply, because that's what division is. So you just come over here and go, oh, I need to multiply this by a 2/1, multiply that by a 2/1. That makes these cross off. You're left with just your x. This ends up being 10/12, which can be reduced to 5/6. I should make you guys rock, paper, scissors to get to see who I ask. Lucy,
I have a question on the 13.
13. Again, 13 is just a matter of combining like terms. Okay, you will not get a single number here. There's no equal signs. You're not solving for anything. You're just putting together what you can. And what can I put together? Only letters, terms that have the same letters. This is an X term that has a Y. This is an X and that has a Y. I can put my X's together and my Y's together, but they don't like each other, so you don't put X's and Y's with each other. So Lucy, if you have 3 X's and you take 1 X away, what are you left with? 2 X's. They're not squared. I'm not multiplying. And here I have 2 Y's, Lucy, and then I have another Y. What's that give me? 3 Y's. I might just as well do this next one. The next one is very similar to that, except you have to do the distributive property first. It means you have to take 3 times x, 3 times 2, plus 2 times x, and 2 times 3. Again, you can only put x's together and numbers together. Spraying 3 x's and 2 x's is 5 x's, and 2 plus 6 is 8. Oh. Anderson?
That is supposed to be in.
6, it sure should be. Thank you for correcting me. Finally, I did it just so Chris would correct me there. So I wish it was 12. Anybody else catch that and just didn't want to say something? Thanks, Chris. I feel good about that now. David.
I don't understand why there's 15 numbers.
Don't worry, hopefully you won't get that many wrong on the next one. Where is it, Dave? Help me out. Up here?
Yeah.
Did you multiply first, David?
Yeah.
Did you change the proper fractions, David?
Yeah.
8/3, David? Times 3/2, David? David, I lost you there. Maybe you wrote so lightly you couldn't see it.
No, I had 7 eighths.
Yeah, there you go. The nice thing about this is what's gonna happen, Robbins? Almost everything crosses off. You know, you just look at this and look, the 3's go away, because 3 goes into 3 and 3 goes into 3, and 2 goes into 8 4 times, right? And this almost becomes mental math, because it's 4. If you have $4 and you take away $3.75, or $3.75, what you left with? A quarter, 1/4. Oh, we can do the math, this is 3 and 4/4. 16, anybody while I'm there?
Sure.
Really? This one here, you just cross off like one top and bottom. This has one C, that has a C, they go away. This has 2 A's, but there's only 1 on the bottom, so that one will cross off with one of the 2 and leave you with 1. This has 3 B's and only 1 on the bottom, so that one cross off with one of the 3, you're left with 2 B's on top. So it's A, B squared, nothing on the bottom, so you don't have to put anything on the bottom. Technically, there's 1 there, but we don't put 1 there, so. How many possible more can I have?
Oh, no, you just go back up to 14.
Up to, I think I have to go down to 14, don't I? Is that- And then down here?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, is that that? Christopher messed this up because he corrected. What was your question?
Jeez, Chris.
Whatever we get.
Sorry.
3 times x is 3x, my bad, 3 times 2 should have been 6. 2 times x, 2 times 3, 3 x's and 2 x's gives me the total of 5 x's. 6 plus 6 should have been 12, but I unfortunately made a heinous error. I'm sure I will pay for that for the rest of my life. 5x. Let me look and see what we still have left to do. Wait, that's not all of them, is it? You don't want me to do 11? 11 is just an equation, you do the opposites like the other one there. We did, oh, we almost did we? Wait, did we do them all except number 11?
Yeah.
All right, then we're gonna do it, because I'm not gonna leave one on the board. Take no prisoners. Same thing is true for this, equations, do the opposite, get rid of the addition subtraction stuff. Opposite of subtracting 1.8 is adding 1.8. If I add 1.8 here, I get 4.2, and that equals 2x. This is 2 times x, so you divide by 2. Opposite, opposite, and x then equals 2. 1. Do my best little cloudy thing, I've got all that kind of time. Maybe we'll highlight it in black. Any other colors you want to see?
Green.
Green,
Yellow.
yellow, amarillo, or amarilla.
Orange.
Stop, David.
Awesome.
I am exhausted. I will, ladies and again, as I say, look, I did record.